Okay, yeah, that phone ran out of memory, so we're gonna just retell this story. I'm tired. It only got 14 seconds of content. Seriously? 14 seconds of content. Just my luck. Just my luck. We're telling the story again because, bitch, this dress is fire and I deserve. Okay, like I was saying before, not many people have the same access that I have. Not many people have the same access, honestly, that I have. I'm not saying I've had the most access. I'm just saying my perspective is different. My perspective is meaningful, and my perspective is interesting. It is interesting. And I spent a majority of my life in art school, kindergarten all the way to 12th grade. And as a black person in the Bay Area, I'm just saying many people do not have that opportunity. I feel like, honestly, I am not giving myself enough time to express what that experience was like for me, the nuance around it, the ups, the downs, the tears, the joy, the pain. I gaslit all of it because I honestly felt like, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Honestly, I mean, I give a shit, don't get me wrong. I deeply care. I care like a woman, right? But I'm just saying, I kind of felt like, yeah, even if I care and I'm sharing this with my friends, who else would care? But I also felt that way when I recorded the Bake Sale Becky video on the other side of the lake, and 30,000 people cared. So, like, I'm just saying, sometimes even when I feel like, oh, let's just make this like 15-minute piece of content and no one's gonna give a shit, and then 30,000 people later, people actually give a shit. I think I'm really just starting to understand how unique my own perspective is, how unique my experiences are. This is why today I decided, like, this is the last day, or I have like 2 more days with this dress and this rental series, so I'm like, I'm gonna wear it somewhere. I'm gonna tell some fucking story in this dress. It might as well be this story, and it might as well be today, and it might as well be here because, like, why not, right? Okay, so we were telling the story before the memory died on the other fucking phone. We were telling the story of why I decided to go to art school as opposed to going to Berkeley High, which is like a traditional high school straight out of middle school. So in 8th grade, I was at Longfellow, and I was on a particular like track. So that basically means that like where I was academically, it was like set up really well to like oh, she's really good. There was like a baby in a little thing, and the dad was that was really cute. Anyway, so I was set up, right, to go into a particular like academic track after the track that I was set up on in like 8th grade, right? And it was great because like a lot of my friends were gonna be in classes with me. We like already set it up that way. I was ready, but and I knew this for a long time, I had a real passion for dance. I was like, other people love music, maybe they love, I don't know, theater, they love creative writing, they love all type of shit, but I was like, I know that I love to dance. Your bitch loves to dance. Like, I love it. You can catch me in the dance studio every day. I have pictures of every year of my life. You're gonna catch me in a leotard, and you're gonna catch me in the dance studio. Sometimes you're gonna see me do an Afro-Haitian dance, and I've got the cloth on. Sometimes you're gonna catch me in a tutu, and I'm gonna be like, sometimes you're gonna see me in jazz. Like, every fucking year, you're gonna have pictures of me in the dance studio because that's just what I do. So I knew, I was like, yo, if I have an opportunity to actually go to school and like study dance, like I'm gonna go. I saw the movie Fame and I was like, what? Debbie Allen? What? I'm there, like I'm going. I can go. And I had a friend, Rio, shout out to Rio, who was like in my ear, like, yo, there's an art school, you need to go, bitch, you have to go. And I was like, Rio, man, yes, I'm gonna go. So I went, I auditioned, I got in, and I was like, we're doing this. And then the drama started. It was like, you get in and you're on cloud 9, and it's just like, all this shit happens, and you're just like, this is not as great as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be all cherries and roses, and it was like thorns and magnets. And I'm like, fuck, this is not what I thought it would be at all. I was looking for more. I got less. I'm fucking pissed. I want more. I expected more, right? Okay, so well, we're not going to do long story short. We're just going to do a partial story. So the first day of class, I show up, you know, I've got my snazzy hairstyle. Y'all know how I like to come, right? I like to come with the accessories. So at that time, I think I had 2 pigtails going on, but I had some like knocker balls in there. I had a snazzy tutu. I went to one of the ballerina stores and it was like a black tutu. And I had my underwear was showing through the tutu because I was a little rashy back then, and I had the tights on, and I had the slippers, but I had the knocker balls. So I don't know. I guess I looked like a trap ballerina or something. I'm not really. It was like a hip hop out ballerina. I don't know how to classify. I gotta look back at pictures to really classify this. Anyway, so I'm on the bar. You know, I'm just doing my plies. I'm like, let's get it, Olivia. You know, plie. We're like, bloop. Bloop, bloop, right? So Mr. Savage walks over and he's like, what's your name, young lady? Who are you? And I'm like, hey, I'm Olivia. He's like, what the fuck is in your hair? And I was like, excuse me? What? He was like, what the fuck is that? What is in your hair? And I was like, what? Why are you touching me? Why? And he's like, look, this is my dance studio. You don't come in here like that. And I was like, why are you touching me, sir? Why? And he's like, if you don't take that shit out of your hair right now, I'm gonna take it and shove it up your ass. And I was like, whoa there, old man. All right, fatty, take it back. Nobody talks to me like that. He had on the silver rings, the platinum bracelets, and he smelled like 3 days of clubbing. And I was like, there's no way this drunk motherfucker is gonna come at me like this. I was a freshman. It was the first day. Day 1. Day number 1. And I was like, nope. Absolutely. Freshman Olivia was like, I will bitch slap this nigga right now. This is like, I was like ready. I was like, if he takes one more step, there's gonna be me and this backhand right now, and these knocker balls are gonna be used as weapons. I started planning it out in my mind. I was like, if he takes one more step. So that's how we started. And let me just tell you, the year didn't really get much, but it didn't go like, it wasn't like over time. This relationship blossomed into a friendship. That's not what, it was like every day it got progressively worse. It's like he would find out more about me. He would be like nitpicky, like, oh, why are you like this? Why did you say this? Why did you do this? And I'm just like, oh, I hate him. I hate him so much. Anyway, so that's how my experience and the emphasis was. And yes, I did end up transferring to Berkeley High because he made my time there a living hell. There was that. But also, I got into a relationship. So I was in the dance emphasis, and my boyfriend at the time was in the singing emphasis. And so singers and dancers typically like come together and they have performances. It's great. It's fun. It's also full of fucking drama. Drama. Like, we are not theater, but the drama is real. The drama is real. So sometimes when she didn't know I was going live, so she was like trying to like navigate around the camera, and just watching her was actually very fun. Okay, so yes, so I get into this relationship with a singer. It was great. I meet his family. It was great. And then he cheats, and it wasn't great anymore. The kid made it to the bottom of the stroller. Like, here's the stroller, and here's where the kid should be sitting. The baby is now at the bottom of the stroller where, like, backpacks and shit. Like, incredible. Kids do the darndest things. Anyway, okay, so get a boyfriend. The boyfriend cheats. I'm also a drama queen, but also there was real drama because, like, okay, so he cheats on me with two people. One of the people is like this girl who's like a complete hoe at the school. Like, I was shocked. It's the type of thing where you can't brush that off. Like, sometimes you cheat with someone who's so awful where you're like, I can't show my face anymore. I have to leave, right? There was that, but then he also cheated with somebody at Berkeley High. But I told y'all, like, I know everybody at Berkeley High, so he didn't know that I like knew everyone at Berkeley High. So when I found out that he was like on this scheme at Berkeley High, I like went to my people and I was like, give me the scoop, ladies. And everybody was like, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, damn, this nigga got a rap sheet. And they're like, yeah, he does. And on top of all of that, there was like a series of girls in the dance emphasis who knew that I was in a relationship with him, and they knew the bitches that he was seeing at Berkeley High. So they knew the whole time. We were in class together. We were going to get ice cream together at lunch. These hoes said nothing. They were like smiling in my face, watching my relationship crumble. They said nothing. The shade is real, ladies. It's real. Bitches do not care. They will literally watch you burn. I was like, yo, if I were to see somebody being that trash, I would have just said something. I would have been like, Brittany, girl, let me tell you, he is cheating. He is cheating. I know you're going to cry. I know it hurts, girl. Cry your tears. But you have to know. You have to, yet nobody gave me that courtesy. They were just like, fuck this bitch. We don't care about her happiness. We don't care about her innocence. We honestly don't care if she lives or dies. And I was like, fuck all these hoes. So then the next day I just left. I didn't say goodbye to any of them. I just disappeared. And people were like, what happened? I changed my phone number. I was like, bitch, I don't know you. I deleted them from all the Facebook. Did I have Facebook back then? I can't remember. Whatever the poppin' social media was, TikTok, Sidekick, Snapchat, Messenger, whatever it was, I deleted all those hoes. I was like, I cannot believe y'all knew, and y'all didn't tell me? Oh my God, right? So anyway, one of the girls that he was like talking to at the time, I ended up being friends with her because it just so happened that we had a very similar dating rap sheet. So like a lot of the people that she dated, I dated too, not at the same time. But I was like, okay, so clearly there's a type going on, like people who like me, like her. So before I would date anybody or I would talk to anybody new at Berkeley High, I would go to her and I would be like, hey girl, tell me the scoop on this dude. Because I know that you know. Because I know that if he likes me, he's already dated you just because we keep dating the same people. So that was cool, right? And then like some of the people I happened to like come across later in life, and I would just be like, hi. But my feelings toward them just didn't change because I honestly felt like, you know, screw me once, you're gonna do it again. And also, if you would just see that type of shit happening and you don't feel the need to like say anything, that says way more about like you than it does about me. Because I just couldn't be the person who sees that and just doesn't say anything. It's just too fucked up. Like, who wants to live in that type of world? I mean, really, like, who wants to contribute to that type of karma? if you know, it's like the same thing when people see racism and then they're just like, yeah, that's not me, I don't give a shit. It's like, fine. Well, then one day when the racism is happening to you, nobody's gonna give a shit. It's like the thing where people, Asian people are like, oh, stop Asian hate. Well, were y'all speaking up when we were like Black Lives Matter? I'm not gonna get political about that right now, but it's the same sort of sentiment, right? Like, okay, and so that was that drama. That was that tea. What else is like an interesting story to tell? Oh, well, this is an interesting one. So when I went to Berkeley High, I told you, so I still participated in like the arts groups there. So I was in something called dance production. I've told this story a million gazillion times, but I will give you guys the short version right now. Basically, I'm in dance production and I'm coming from like Savage's boot camp of demonry and witchery or whatever. So in terms of being like a bad bitch dancer, I'm like that bitch. Also, so I did have an injury like when I was at OSA where I was like, I don't know how the fuck I did it, but we're like outside in the tents. I'm walking down the stairs. My dumbass like trips, and then
for sure,
I fall and I hurt my knee. I was on crutches for like 2 weeks, and my doctor was like, if you hurt your knee again, you're gonna need a knee replacement. And so turnout is like really big in the dance community, and I really realized as I was trying to improve my turnout, I was fucking up my knee. So I think that also contributed to the transfer where I was like, I can't train this hard and this emphasis right now because I'm actually gonna fuck up my knee and I can't afford another injury. So there was that. Anyway, so I get to dance production, I'm there, I'm around quite a lot of other people who they just hadn't trained as hard as me, right? Because coming from Savage's boot camp from hell, no one can really compete with that unless they are also in some other boot camp from hell, training 8 hours a day, and most people just were not. And then on top of that, I was in like some companies after school and on the weekends. So I'm just not sure who was really fucking with me at that time in terms of like raw skill. I would say like nobody. But we're not gonna play the cocky games of Olivia's the shit right now. Anyway, so get to dance production. It was great. We trained the whole semester to perform. The night before the performance comes, and we have dress rehearsal. At the time, I'm living in Oakland. I do not have a car. Dress rehearsal is at 8 o'clock at night. I got out of my classes at like 1:45, and I like went home. I took a nap, and I think my mom was like not home that night, so I had to like figure out a way to doodle. The doodles are everywhere.
I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're okay.
I didn't process.
You're fine. Nobody processes. It's okay. So I'm at home. I'm taking a nap. It's like 6 o'clock. My mom's not there. I do have, there was no Uber or anything back then. So in order for me to get back to the campus, I needed to take the bus. But it was like mad late at night. It was like dark now. It's like black, pitch black at night. And I'm like, I just don't feel like doing this. So I skipped the dress rehearsal. But mind you, like the performance is the next day. And if the piece is like 8 minutes long, I'm in like 7 minutes and 30 seconds of the piece. So the day of the show comes, the lady who like runs the show, her name's Miss Carr, she was like, yo, you didn't make it to dress rehearsal, you can't perform. And I was like, she's joking, that's a lie. She can't kick me out because I'm in like every single piece, right? No, she was fucking serious. She's like, Katie, go and like reformat the whole piece. She's not performing. I broke down in literal tears. I was like, I've been training for this a whole semester. An entire semester. I've been preparing for this. And on the day of the show, this bitch is like, reformat the whole. I had like 3 solo pieces, 2 pieces that like I personally choreographed. It was like taking me out was like a really big deal, right? And I was like, there's no way she could do it, and she was like, I'm doing this. And I was just so mad. I was so hurt, and I was like, you know what? These are the types of politics that people play when they feel like they have power. And it doesn't make sense for me to give anyone else this type of power over my life or my performance art, because like they will continue to disappoint me in the same way that Miss Carr did. Like Miss Carr disappointed me so, like I was so sad. I felt defeated. I really felt defeated. In a way where it was hard for me to come back. Like I didn't want to do other pieces. I just didn't. I was like, I feel so uninspired right now to even try. I felt uninspired. And to me, she did that. She was the source of that. She was the cause of that. And I just felt like, fuck her. And my way of saying fuck her was almost in a way where I also said, like, fuck me. Right? Because for a while, I just took myself out of a lot of spaces. I stopped telling stories and I stopped performing altogether because I was like, fuck this. It's way too political and I don't want to. And a lot of people expected me to be that person who was just going to go to LA and go try to be whatever. And I've seen a lot, trust me, I've seen a lot of bitches like go, come, try, fail, succeed. And what I know is that if I would have gone then, I definitely would have failed.
Yeah,
for sure. Because here's the thing, like somebody has to make it. Some people have to make it. Like some people are not, but then some people have to. And I just realized that my very unique perspective, nobody else has it. Just nobody else does. Only me. And another part of that is that like I actually have a perspective. Some people don't have a perspective. Like they're just boring, you know? Like they are just fucking boring. I don't know how else to, or they're bland. Or there's just like 17 million other people who are just like them. Like not to be mean or anything, but that's the thing with like the Karens. Like there's just so many white girls who all look exactly the same and they all have the exact same story. And it's like, I am tired of hearing that story. I'm tired. I want to hear another story. I want to hear a story about, I don't know, something else. Well, honestly, I want to hear stories of like, from black girls who are interesting, who have a perspective and a story to tell. Like, and maybe that's why I honestly feel like I should just tell my own basic ass story. It is not a story of triumph, and it's not even a story of success, honestly. Because, like, a lot of the times I just quit before I failed, right? Like, leaving OSA is not a story of success. It's not. I should have stayed, maybe, I guess. Or not going to LA is not really a story of success. It's just not. But at the same time, it is a story. There's, like, an arc there. Like, shit happened. Shit is still happening. Like, I still interact with people who I know there. For instance, like, Marshawn. Marshawn is like the black gay version of me. He did move to LA, and he's, like, doing some shit. I don't think that I honestly think that my lifestyle is a bit more fancy than his, which is kind of funny, because, like, he's in LA. Like, he's just talking about getting his first apartment now. I've had my own apartment for the last year. And that's after I took a break with all the bullshit with Alvin, right? He's been on the grind this whole time. And he's older than me. So, that's the story from the tree that got cut off earlier. So this is, like, literally the second time I'm telling this fucking story. But still, it's interesting. It's something. Oh, God. Alright, I'm gonna move to a different tree. I do need to head over to Jackie's place. And I don't think I'm gonna make it to the garden. Oh, fuck. I wanna go to the garden too. I don't know how I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll rent a car and drive to Jackie. I don't wanna do that either. But maybe I will, because how else will I get all of this shit done? But I'm gonna figure out a way to do it. We're gonna do it. Let's go.